Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand. This is your Hot Takes. It's another week and we are back in business to bring this community into the shows, and we've got some good ones once again.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was going to say it's been a good week, but we haven't lost, so you can't really complain, you know what I mean?
You know, this is a thing with the haircut, with the United Stand. Love him, bless him, but
Yeah.
it is, I mean, the only team in the league to have done 5 wins in a row is Arsenal.
Yeah.
That is a hard thing to do. 4 games unbeaten. Don't let it get you down.
Yeah, 100%.
We're out here, we're in the sun, it's a little bit chilly. Old Trafford's right behind us. Thank you very much to 11th Central for providing us such a beautiful backdrop to go into your hot take. So let's begin with the first one, Maud. And the first one is that the only player to get in Arsenal's squad is Brian Mbeumo, and even he is on the bench. The only United player to get in Arsenal's squad is Brian Mbeumo, and even he's on the bench. Thoughts?
I don't agree. I mean, I'm trying to think of it straight away. Defence, I can give that to Arsenal. They have the best defence in the league, arguably the best defence in the world. I think they've conceded 3 goals all season, so you know what? I'm not even going to try and argue that side of it. But I think in the more attacking areas, Mbeumo gets in. I think he can get in as a striker, maybe not as a right winger, because I do think Saka is still either on par or better than him, so I think it's a conversation there. But on the left, we can put anyone in there. We can put Cunha in there, we can put Mbeumo on the left if you really want to.
Well, let's go through it.
Okay, go on.
The keeper, Raya or Lamans?
Yeah, we'll take Raya.
Raya.
Yeah.
Right back, Timber or Ahmad?
We'll take Timber. We'll take Timber.
Gabriel and Saliba or Dalot and Euro?
We'll take Gabriel and Saliba. I think they are the 2 best centre backs in the league.
This
I'm
is
not
an
going to argue with
interesting
you.
one. Calafiori or Luke Shaw?
Go on. What's your answer?
Luke Shaw. The only one.
I was going to say that's a
In the
little
backline,
bit of a conversation. I'll accept the conversation now, but I don't think if you was a manager right now, you'd pick Luke Shaw or Calafiori. I don't think if you had the 2 options, you'd pick.
I would.
You really think so?
Yeah, I would. And come for me.
Fair
Come
enough.
for me. The
Fair enough.
midfield, Declan Rice or Casemiro?
Declan Rice, yeah.
Zubimendi or Bruno Fernandes?
In that position, as an 8, Zubimendi is his natural position. Bruno Fernandes, as a 10, you can argue that, but I don't think you can, especially this season as well. Zubimendi's been pretty. I feel like I'm an Arsenal fan saying all this, but I'm trying to be non-biased, really.
It's really difficult because I love Bruno, but Zubimendi is doing very, very well. I think that's a really difficult decision.
It's his position, so you can't really argue against his own position as an 8.
Eze or Cunha?
I think that's more of a debate. I think Cunha can easily. There's a strong argument for Cunha in there. Obviously, Eze, yeah, he's a talented, very, very good player. There's no disrespect there to Eze, but in that 10 position, you could even put Bruno there, Cunha there. Obviously, Mbeumo is technically playing as a 10 right now, and Eze is obviously part of the conversation as well.
I love Eze as a player. I think he's ridiculously talented, but I would take Cunha.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm not complaining about that one.
If you said to me you could swap Cunha and Eze now for the left-sided 10, I would keep with Cunha.
Yeah.
And then the front 3, Saka and Mbeumo, big debate. I think Mbeumo and Saka are up there for second best right winger in the league after Salah. I mean,
Yeah.
Salah's not started the season very well,
Yeah.
but we know what his reputation is.
Yeah.
And then striker, I'd have Mbeumo over Gyökeres up front.
Sesko over Gyökeres.
And then left winger. And this is the thing, if you were putting a front 3 together, you'd have to be Saka and Mbeumo and then somebody else that you'd have to...
I'd probably say, for my front 3, I'd say Saka and Mbeumo down the middle and then Eze on the left.
That's a good one.
That's what I would
And then
do.
Cunha just in behind.
Cunha in the 10, yeah. Or Bruno in the 10.
Let us know what you think.
One of the 2. All right, next up, our next hot take is going to be from our very own Ricky, the Godfather. Now,
Rick the Red.
Now, Ricky says that his hot take is that Dalot is overhated. Now, I'll be honest, there was a lot of hot takes about Dalot, a lot. And they were more on the negative side. So I guess this is probably the biggest hot take that Ricky is on the other side.
I've seen some crazy statements about Dalot over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, I've seen
I mean,
ones.
there's criticism and then there's actual personal abuse. And
No, that is definitely abuse. There's a lot of abuse. Yeah.
It's been creeping in that way, and obviously banter aside, like, come on, he's a human being, you know, behind the footballer. And by the way, a human being that has exemplary behaviour, has all the right behaviours in and around Carrington, a brilliant mentality. He wants to be the best version of himself. He's an example to everybody. He likes to embed the new signings. Apparently, he's always the first to training. He's always the last out. He employs that Ronaldo sort of mentality. Unfortunately, he's not Ronaldo on the pitch. And he doesn't have to be Ronaldo on the pitch, but he's not good enough to start for Manchester United currently. And I think we can all agree on that. What I would say is it Manchester United that always seems to be a scapegoat. Like, for a while it was Pogba, you know, for a while it was McTominay, McFred, Maguire, Magaluf. There's always something that people talk about is the reason why Manchester United's failing, and it always has to kind of come down to one player. For me, at the moment, left wing back is our Achilles heel. It is an area where we are massively lacking. But I think there's other areas of the pitch that are getting away a little bit scot-free. I think our centre-backs need to do better. And I know that's not the popular opinion right now. Dalot has been an absolute monster. I think Shaw has been really good at times. But I do think there has been mistakes made by the centre-backs that people ignore because overall they're doing quite well. I think our midfield is a big problem in certain games. And in some games it works, in some games it gets exposed. And everyone just wants to go in on Dalot. Dalot isn't a left wing back, he's being played out of position and he's not playing well.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be a starter, and I don't see him as a starter for Manchester United in the future either, even at right wing back, to be honest with you. But I think he can be a good squad player. It's not his fault that Amorim's starting him every single week. And for me, is he being overhated at this point? Yes, but I also think instead of maybe directing it at Dalot, why don't we direct some of the criticism at Amorim for playing him there every single week, and maybe direct some of the criticism at the recruitment team, because as well as they've done with the Mbeumo and the Mbeumo and the Cunha and the Larman signings, right? This time last year we were desperate for a left wing back. A year later we're still desperate for a left wing back. Dorgu's got potential, but we need someone for the now, and we need to stop with the let's hope they can be it, because we've got plenty of them. We've got Leon, we've got Dorgu, we've got Harry Armas on loan at Sheffield Wednesday. We need you are ready right now to be our starting left wing back. Just the same way as in the 10s, we didn't take a risk, we went there with Mbeumo and Cunha. You are ready now. That's what we need to do. So I think there's a lot of blame to be taken. End of rant. Right, I'm letting Mods fully take the next one because I just went absolutely off on one.
You said everything I was thinking anyway, sort of.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me know if you agree.
Yeah.
The next one is, we should have signed Mateta over Sesko.
Oh, that's a good one. You know what I will say about that is, I'm not complaining about Sesko right now. I know there's been criticisms from like Gary Neville, other people about Sesko and whatever. I don't think he's nearly as bad as what people are trying to say or trying to put out to be. I think he's shown so much potential. I mean, he scored 2 goals in 2 games, and the next game he didn't even play. And then the next game he came back, he got an assist. I think he's actually played all right. Yes, he didn't have the greatest game, the last game, but I think that's naturally just going to happen as a new player, new signing into a new league. You're going to have difficult. I don't know if you heard that.
Definitely in the background.
You're going to have difficult games. So I think people are being very, very harsh this early on into his Man United career. He's still 22, 23? 22 years old. Yeah, I think people are being very harsh on him. On the flip side, I do think Mateta is an amazing player, and I think he's shown it the past couple seasons, the ability that he can play at, and I think he even started for France one game. So I think he's even going up in how well he's performing. But I think it's a bit of a stretch to say right now, yeah, like Sesko was the wrong signing to make. We should have signed someone else. Let's at least give him a chance to prove himself over a whole season before we completely write him off.
Completely agree with everything that you're saying. The one last thing I'd add in is Mbeumo and Cunha have been in the league for a couple of years now. Yeah. They've been in English football for, Mbeumo's played in the Championship even up from them. They're both 26 years old. Sesko's 22. He's just adjusting. My line would be, because I think you're absolutely dead on, I think Mateta's gone under the radar. I can't believe no one signed him in the summer. I think he's brilliant. He's exactly that type of striker that he does so well in the Premier League. He's got pace, he's got physicality, he can ruffle up defenders in the box. I think he'd be great for us. But what we should have done, we should have signed both. It's not we should have signed Mateta over Sesko. We should have both of them types of players in our squad. You should have a Mateta, Premier League proven, ready for the now, ready to take the league by storm, and then you should have a Højlund or a Sesko type. And I do think Sesko is a bit further ahead than Højlund. We should have that type of young player adjusting to the league, got so much potential, gonna, diamond in the rough, ready to explode in a couple of years' time. And don't get me wrong, I still think Sesko can do really well for us. Like you said, it's literally one poor game, and he's shown promising signs. But Manchester United, a club of our level, aiming to be where we want to be, you should have 2 different types of strikers, one for the young player to learn off and one that's ready to go now. Yeah,
and the only thing I will say about that is I completely agree, but the way we've seen Amorim pick his team so far, and the fact that we're only playing 1 game a week, buying a 60, 70 million pound striker to pretty much be we don't even know if he'd even play that much, considering if Mateta started every single game, and even now we're seeing Mount start a lot of games or Cunha start over him. Realistically, Sesko would have been on the bench for the majority of games this season, so it would have been a bit of a waste on that amount of money to buy both of them. I
think that's a good point. We'd not have Europe, I get that. Yeah. Could have been Mateta and Højlund maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, good point. Alright, so the next hot take, and I feel like you're going to like this one. The hot take is that Luke Shaw hasn't been that bad this season. In fact, he's been one of our better players and one of the first names on the team sheet.
I can one-up you on that. Luke Shaw's been class.
Go on.
And maybe I am falling into Ricky's big trap.
Yeah.
But I think with certain players, there is a narrative that people like to follow without actually fully watching the game in detail. People have their favourite players. People already have their opinions made up on certain players. When you think a player's poor, when you watch them, subconsciously you look for all the poor actions. When you think a player is good, subconsciously you watch them and you see the best in them. That happens. We're human. We're human beings. That happens to me. It happens to you. It happens to everybody. Yeah. But take out your frustration with Luke Shaw's injury record. Bias. Take out your frustration with the fact he was fit for England and wasn't fit for United, and look at it from just the perspective of watching him as a player. And I said to myself at the start of this season, from the Arsenal game, I'm going to do what Ricky's asked me to do. I'm just going to watch Luke Shaw every single game. It's even better when you're at Old Trafford because you can see a full view of an individual player. When it's on TV, you're only seeing certain snippets. And I think apart from the derby, he has been class in every game. Apart from the derby, which I thought he was really poor, which I thought everybody was, by the way. I thought everyone was poor in the derby. I think it's one of our worst performances of the season. I think he's been really, really good. Even that Brentford performance, I thought he could leave with one of the only players that could leave with his head held high. Especially the Brighton game, he was fantastic. First half against Forest, he was our best player. He's so good on the ball. People talk about Lisandro Martinez's passes through the lines, and I think that's one of his great strengths, but Luke Shaw's good at it too. He drives through the midfield, and do you know what? Sometimes I feel sorry for him because he's looking to that left wing-back area to combine with, and sometimes he has to just bypass them and run into the midfield himself because Dalot and Dorgu aren't always in the right position to receive the ball properly. I mean, not all the time, but if you're working with the likes of an Ahmad, it's a bit easier to create them combinations. Yeah. He's pressing into the midfield really well. I think he's a really, really good player. And for everyone who says, he's only fit for England, right? Yeah, his injury record is really frustrating and really, really hard to get behind a player when they've been injured that much. But do people actually think he was just pretending to be unfit for United and then fit for England? Because even when he went to England, he didn't play until the semi-finals because he was just waiting to get fit. Surely, right, if you're actually just faking being injured to get fit for England, surely you get yourself back fit for United like the last couple of weeks of the season to get yourself up for it, and then you're fit for England's first game of the tournament. That didn't happen. They took him because he's that good that they thought even if he can get fit for the semis, we might as well just use him then. And then he's fit for the semis and then he gets injured. Yes, he shouldn't have put his body on the line. He shouldn't have even played for England. That I agree with, because he should have been focusing on the next season for United. But he didn't fake injury. Yeah. He was mismanaged really, and he unfortunately made that decision, and he wanted to have the chance of winning something for England, and it backfired on the club. It did, but yeah, I think it's class. Everyone would do that anyway.
I think everyone who get the opportunity to play an international tournament, I mean, especially because England, they have won, but not in a very long time. You're gonna want to. That's going to be in the back of your head. I think every player right now, the back of the head, they're thinking, I want to go to the World Cup.
Yeah, of course.
Whatever country they're playing for, they're all thinking, I want to go to the World Cup. Yes, they want to do well for their individual clubs, but everyone wants to go to an international tournament, one of the biggest tournaments it's probably ever going to be. You're going to be thinking about that in the back of your head. So I don't actually blame players for having that in the back of their mind, but if it is affecting your club form and the fact that if you are even playing for your club, I think that's where the problems comes in. But to be fair, I actually agree with everything else you said.
I've got a quick question.
Go on.
Does Leacher displace him? In his current form. His current form. I'm asking you.
I say this all the time. Not straight away. I don't think he would replace him straight away. Obviously not. Like Luke Shaw's not playing. I always say I don't think Luke Shaw's a bad player.
Yeah.
Like I don't actually criticise him as a footballer. I just think I've always said that. I think long term.
You want longevity.
I just want longevity player. But right now, I do not complain about Luke Shaw starting because he's actually playing very well. The last game he was our man of the match. I think everyone could probably agree with that as well. So I have no complaints about Luke Shaw starting now. Even when Martinez comes back. But I still feel like eventually it'll be more of a debate. There'll be a bigger debate as to who starts in that position compared to obviously right now.
If you could play left wing back, that'd be the dream. But
that'd be the best situation possible. But for some reason, Amorim just doesn't want to try.
Do you know what's interesting? When Luke Shaw was interviewed in pre-season, he did actually say the manager knows I prefer to play left wing back, but I'll play anywhere for the team.
Yeah.
So Luke Shaw thinks he can still do it. Let's see. All right, the last hot take, and it's a good one. We've had so many good hot takes, and we're here every Tuesday. Make sure you stay tuned in. Get your hot takes in. 11th Central, beautiful backdrop. Gloomy Old Trafford now with the sun going down. But the last one is, Amorim will win Manager of the Season if he manages to get top 4 with this squad.
Ooh. You know what it is? Sometimes when it comes to managers, I look at what you achieve based on your expectation. I look at last season finishing 15th. To go from 15th to 4th is incredible. To go from 2nd to 1st is incredible. It is still a big achievement. But you have to look at the differences. Like, I feel like coming 15th to 4th is like, how have you even managed to do that? You know, it's like not Leicester, but like it's like one of them, like a Forest kind of thing where they were in a relegation battle and then they ended up getting European spot. So
we're on the same points. We finished on, I think, the same points as Wolves last season, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
and they obviously survived. So look, manager of the season, it's tough because I know they are going to obviously give it to Arteta if he wins, just because Arsenal not won in 20 odd years. But I do think that is a huge achievement, and to turn it around from what people were saying at the end of last season, and to be fair, at the start of this season as well, what people were saying about United and obviously Amorim's job. If he was to go and get top 4 above certain teams, if he was to get top 4 above a City or a Liverpool or even a Chelsea, that's a huge achievement considering how their development and where they should be finishing. So yeah, I think that's still a very, very good thing for Amorim to achieve.
I agree. I also think when you look at it, I was going into this season expecting top 6. I was dreaming of that 5th place Champions League. If we manage to get Champions League, I will take my hat off to Amorim and say, that's really, really well done. I was expecting Europa League football this year, Champions League the year after, and then we start to compete. If we can one-up that this season, and I think certain members of the squad are definitely capable of that. If we recruit well in January and we get top 5, I think he'll be up there. But like you said, if Arteta wins it, it's going to go to him. But
it's going to go to him,
Champions League, I think, is just about overachieving for this season for Amorim. Even though, is United, you do expect it. I think that's where we should be at. But let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Smash a like on the video, everyone. Do you agree with me and Maud? Do you agree with the hot takes? Get your hot takes in down below. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.